I remember when we met for the first time at an event and you had the plot in mind, you'd also done a bit of writing. You had this story very clear in your head and with the backdrop that you chose. Was it a conscious decision to tell the story, through the medium of these characters, and set in jungles?
Yes, it was an idea, and of course I worked on it. It took some time. It happened also pre-COVID. I began, I guess, COVID during that time. It gave me some more time. Not that news ever stopped for us. There was no, holidays like everybody was sitting at home, but we had to go to work every day, even during the COVID time, lockdown and all that. But yes, I worked on the book during that time, and once you start writing, somehow things take shape, and then you decide which way to go. And there's a little bit of Bollywood also in the book, because even at NDTV we did several tiger campaigns, Save Our Tiger campaigns. It started with this number 1411. There were only 1411 tigers left in the country, and that really, captured people's imagination, and people felt very worried and concerned about the fact, because let's face it, India is the country that has tigers. We have 70% of the world's wild tigers, and that again is an amazing accomplishment if you think about it. And it's the only country you can come and see tigers the way we can over here. There are 13 tiger range countries, but they have like a handful, and you really can't see them in the wild. Nothing like India has today. And tigers is such an animal that world over people love tigers. A child sitting in Sweden, in Finland, उनको कभी टाइगर दिखेगा नहीं. But if you ask them what is your favorite animal, they'll say tiger. And where is the tiger?
I've never seen
India. So in that sense, I think it's a great source of pride. And tiger symbolizes our wildlife as well. And thanks to saving the tiger, we save a lot of our wildlife as well. So we did this campaign with that in mind. I got to report a lot, and I got to travel to many places, not to Odisha, but many other places in the course of covering the Save Our Tigers campaign. And so many of those experiences is what when I sat down to write. So a lot of people I met, stories that I heard, so all that I've written down in the book.
Let me ask you one more thing.
Sure.
It was my turn to ask you a question.
As Milee said that it's a story of a coexistence and balancing it out. And once government is imposing or expanding so much money, like in one state I know they have 450 crore in Uttarakhand to invest, because I am the partner there, okay, for development. So once policy, development, funding and forest, and changes are all around forest. So as a writer, how do you see the balance of coexistence happening there? Because as a writer, you are studying the aspect, because environment is changing. So how the balance is making itself stable?
Balance is getting disturbed, because now in India we have all these tiger sanctuaries where we have great number of tigers, like and now the idea is to have landscape so that the animals can move from one part to another part, be it from Bombay National Park to Rajaji National Park, be it from a Ranthambore through Bundi to other parts of Rajasthan. And, so that is what you have to facilitate to prevent the man-animal conflict. But अब जो ये development हो रहा है, उनके रास्ते कट रहे हैं. If you have roads that are being built through forests, through various
future.
It's a huge challenge, and again recently the road in Maharashtra that got built with animal underpasses. Now it's being talked about a lot, and everybody's saying how amazing that we made it. But I know the amount of struggle and fight that went into activists, NGOs fighting to say that no, spend that extra money and make these underpasses so that the animals can have that space to go. And there was a lot of resistance from the government, because it obviously made the project cost a lot more. But at the end of the day, I think we managed to protect these wild spaces for so long. We need to do a little more and continue that protection. And as I said today, the biggest threat is climate change. And our biggest protection against climate change is these forests. And these forests are where the tigers, where the elephants, where the rhinoceros, and all the other wild animals are.
So, that is also one of the things, the conflict and the shrinking space. On one side, we say that we want to increase the population of animals, but is there enough space, and who's encroaching upon whose home? This is one of the things we were talking about earlier too. And you tackle that in the book, because all of these conflicts come from because sometimes spaces are shrinking, forests are being cut down, and there isn't enough space for animals to move around, and therefore sometimes you see them coming out on roads, and either people getting scared, or there are accidents also where animals get hurt, which is quite tragic. I did want to ask you about the role of nature and importance of writing around these themes, because you're a writer too, and these are very important themes, not only for us as adults but also for children and future generations, because this is the world that we're bringing them into.
Frankly, nature brings a lot of changes in poetry and poets' perception itself. In fact, I'm fortunate that last 6 months, a series of poems I wrote only on poetry, and the series name is Prem Mein Ped. And the one liner I'll tell you that Prem Mein Pratiksha Ka Naam Barish Hai. So such kind of things. When you travel in jungles, you find that one tree is entangled with the another tree, and you can't make them apart till death. So that kind of lesson nature gives you to be a joint soul, integrated soul. The human has to learn a lot from nature. And you can see that the tree will be looking towards water and climbing towards water all the time. So प्रेम में पेड़ झुकता जाता है, विनम्रता वहाँ से सीखिए. And number of things has to be learned from nature.
No, absolutely. I think it has been happening over the years, and of course there is a need and for more and more awareness, I think, for the new generation, because the more we take them into nature, they see things firsthand, like Gargi was saying. It's not only about seeing them on films or reading about them as characters, Jim Copper's story, but actually seeing them and experiencing that moment, right? You're face to face with an animal is also very special. And one of the aspects that maybe the government has used in the past, and is also part of the book, is the use of celebrities. Use of campaigns that you talked about briefly, but also using celebrities to promote these causes, because they have a huge following and they do help in some ways to create more awareness about these issues. So tell us a little bit about that aspect in the book.
Alright, so yes, as at NDTV I said that we've used celebrities for our campaign for Save Our Tigers. Amitabh Bachchan was our campaign ambassador, and various other stars also joined in. Dia Mirza, there was Manish Paul, various other actors, and had support the campaign. We took them to the park to actually film them in the jungle, looking at the tiger, or at least trying to, going on the safari, etc. And end of the day in India, I think we all, the masses or the public just adore the movie stars or the cricketers. Those are the two, characters that have huge mass following. Post-COVID, thankfully, there's a more appreciation, I think, of scientists and doctors as well. But people are very starstruck, and it's great to have a celebrity be a part of this campaign, because we can talk about environment and wildlife, but those who are interested are the ones who listen to you. But if you get an Amitabh Bachchan, then those who are interested in Amitabh Bachchan will listen to what he has to say. And they get a little more interested. We had MS Dhoni support our campaign, and we took him to Uttarakhand to meet the Chief Minister. He is from Uttarakhand originally, as I hope everybody knows. Talking about my state. But so the Chief Minister made him an honorary wildlife warden, and it was a big news, and I think it brought a lot of attention to the Tiger campaign. So similarly in the book also, I have a Bollywood star, and I've used that in a light-hearted way to also make the story a little more interesting. But yes, our celebrities have a huge following, a huge power, so if they talk about these sort of things, I think the young people will listen more, be more concerned.
Absolutely. I don't want to divulge too much about the book, because I think all of you should read it, read Tiger's Finger, and let us know what you think. So I have one last question, and after that, if any of you have any questions, we'll take that up. So Gargi, what next? As a writer, you have begun this journey, and I think you're enjoying it too, because it also helps you connect to a wider audience and new people that you meet along the way. So, what more can we expect from you in the future?
Well, I think I would like to write a follow-up to this, and in this particular tiger season, I've talked more about Rajasthan, Ranthambore. The park is called something different, but that is what I have focused on. But I would like to focus on different parts of the country. I still think there's a lot that, and I hope young people will read it and get more interested in other wild animals, other aspects of conservation.
Sundarban is also one.
Yes, Sundarbans, of course. I mean, I've been to the Sundarban prize, never seen a tiger, spent 6 days on a launch in the Sundarbans. The closest we came to a tiger was when the forest department took us on an island, and then it was very muddy, and my camera person, she sank into the mud, and she was knee deep in the mud, and we tried to pull her out, and the forest guard said, "Oh, dekho wo tiger ka pagma." We're like, that was not the time we wanted to think of a tiger nearby. Just stuck in the mud. But at that time, I also met a lot of people, villagers again, who had been attacked by tigers. So there's a lot of that aspect there. The forest department is doing work to, promote ponds, fishing in ponds, ducks, and poultry, etc. So that the people will go less and less into the forest, into the Sundarbans, where they come under attack by tigers. So yes, I think I have a lot more stories to tell people, and I hope people will encourage me with...
No, absolutely. I hope you keep on writing and keep on publishing you. Any last words from you, Yatish? Because then I'm going to ask audience questions.
Nothing, I'll only add Gargi, what Gargi was saying, that I work for an NGO called Bandhav Sialda, and we work for only tiger attack victims. And you will be surprised to know that the numbers are very high.
Absolutely, and we need more NGOs and more people working in that.
So what we are doing there, that we are making pond and we are supplying some medical leaf, and they are developing as a farming those leaves, and they are selling it out as a medicine. So those things are.
Yes.
Sounds like a great initiative. I think we need more and more of this collaboration, the community and the forest department coming together to preserve this relationship, and hope the numbers keep on growing in India and